Welcome to the 19th video in this series, Foundations of Communist Organizing. Today we'll be going over the 1920 piece by the Third Communist International Second Congress, Theses on Parliamentarism presented by the Communist Abstentionist fraction of the International Socialist Party. I've subtitled this Revolutionary Strategy Against Parliamentary Illusions. Under certain conditions, the Communist Party can engage in bourgeois electoralism, but only in particular ways which do not harm the actual goal of all communist parties. A majority within a bourgeois parliament cannot achieve the conquest of political power, as the basis of the bourgeois state itself is the protection of bourgeois right and principally private property. In order to remove this, the proletariat must smash the bourgeois state and replace it with organs of proletarian power, the workers' councils, which will deprive the exploiting class of all political rights. Therefore, the proletariat's first act must be to, in fact, overthrow representative democracy in the minds and reality of the proletariat through a crisis of legitimacy of the bourgeois state. It must show that social-chauvinistic claims of social democratic leaders that victory achieved evolutionarily is false. In different conditions, different tactics are viable. 1. When potential seizure of power is not likely, communist parties can produce that crisis of legitimacy through propaganda, agitation, and criticism in the midst of participation in electoralism. 2. In nations wherein bourgeois revolutions against feudalism are occurring, communist interventions and electoralism can potentially allow for a victory of the proletariat in that revolution, taking it over from within. 3. However, in nations wherein bourgeois parliaments are well established and dual power is in place, there is no possibility of using electoral struggle for revolutionary work. For clarity of propaganda in these conditions, efficiency of preparation for the final struggle for the decisive moment demands an agitation for a boycott of the election. In addition, it must be understood that in order to engage in electoralism, the party has to devote means, resources, men, press, and money into it, while also potentially having to structure itself in ways that are unfavorable for legal and illegal revolutionary work. This investment can lead to workers feeling like the struggle is an essential activity for achieving the aim of communism, and can lead to the cessation of revolutionary organization and preparation. In order for any communist party to engage in electoralism, they must first be certain that this is not occurring or that it is tactically worth it. If the party is successful in achieving electoral victory, though, engagement in actual parliamentary politics is with certainty going to be a waste of energy and can be harmful if not properly controlled. The benefits may not outweigh the cons. And that is my summary of the Third Communist International Second Congress Theses on Parliamentarism presented by the Communist Abstentionist fraction of the ISP. If you'd like to go through the quotations I derived the summary from, then please feel free to go into the description below where you will find a link to this Google document. And in addition, you can also find a link to the United Marxist Pact Discord server, where we would love to talk about this or any other communism-related topic with you. With that said, tomorrow we will be going over the 1921 piece by the Italian Socialist Party at the 17th Congress at Livorno, Constitution of the Communist Party of Italy, section of the Third International, the party program. Thanks for joining me for today's topical summary, and I hope to see you then.